It's me, it's Will. Listen, I hear I'm getting a little bit of heat because people thought I was making fun of Brad and Angelina.
Starbucks Barbie will be in the view.
The spotlight may shine on Whoopi Goldberg, but lately, it's burning hotter than ever. Once hailed as a titan in the entertainment world, Whoopi now finds herself at the center of a storm, and fans are growing weary. Her name, once celebrated, now echoes through headlines for all the wrong reasons. After a fiery comment on Monday's episode of The View, she's been hit with a 2-week suspension, but the drama doesn't end there. A looming lawsuit threatens to drag her into deeper controversy, and now, celebrities are breaking their silence. What they're saying? You won't believe it.
Sorry, that's what you said. You said,
but you know what's horrible?
that it's okay.
Be here, end up murdering the children of American citizens.
You know what's horrible?
Whoopi Goldberg is no stranger to controversy, but this time, she may have gone too far. From Brad Pitt publicly slamming her over remarks about his bitter divorce, to Jason Aldean threatening a jaw-dropping $40 million lawsuit, the Oscar-winning actress is neck-deep in trouble. And if you're wondering what Whoopi had to say to her critics, buckle up. You won't want to miss this. The buzz in Tinseltown is louder than ever, especially after the explosive backlash surrounding the film Sound of Freedom. Fans are questioning Hollywood's every move, and the silence from most A-listers speaks volumes. But not Whoopi. No, she's charging headfirst into the chaos, igniting yet another firestorm. Her latest feud? A full-blown war of words with country music star Jason Aldean. It all erupted on The View, when Whoopi and her co-hosts took aim at Aldean's controversial hit, Try That in a Small Town. With cutting words, she accused the singer of being insensitive and detached, even suggesting he was blind to the deeper implications of his own lyrics. But the tension didn't stop there. Her co-hosts piled on, throwing gasoline on an already raging fire, and now, the fallout is spiraling fast.
He saw people get, so I don't understand how he could be that disconnected.
It was supposed to be just another episode of The View, but instead, it became a powder keg of controversy. Whoopi Goldberg and her co-hosts unleashed a storm of insults at country star Jason Aldean, calling him names and firing off biting remarks as if national television were their personal battleground. But the backlash? It was swift and brutal. Within hours of the episode airing, social media erupted. Fans were furious, demanding accountability, demanding an apology. But their pleas fell on deaf ears. The show offered no explanation, no retraction. Just silence. Twitter became a war zone. One enraged fan wrote, "I hope Jason Aldean takes everything from those women on The View. It's time people like Whoopi pay for their poorly informed narcissism." Another added, "Network executives need to show Whoopi the door. She's not helping your brand, she's dividing it." But this isn't new territory for Whoopi. In fact, The View has a long, messy history of sparking outrage, and not just from fans. Celebrities have repeatedly taken aim at the show's tone-deaf takes and inflammatory remarks. And one moment in particular still haunts Whoopi's reputation, her highly criticized comments on the Holocaust, which sent shockwaves through the industry. Stars like Brad Pitt, Jennifer Aniston, and others didn't stay quiet. They spoke out, not to cancel her, but to remind her that being on a platform that reaches millions comes with responsibility. As one insider put it, "You're not here to rewrite history. You're here to inform, inspire, not inflame." Now, with lawsuits looming, A-listers turning their backs, and fans demanding change, the question remains, has Whoopi finally gone too far?
Cost isn't about race. No, it's not about race.
One by one, the stars are speaking out, and this time, they're not backing down. After Whoopi Goldberg's now infamous comments on The View, a storm of criticism erupted, not just from fans, but from fellow celebrities who had finally had enough. One of the loudest voices? Deborah Messing, who took to Twitter with a powerful rebuke. At Whoopi Goldberg, "You deeply hurt and offended me by minimizing the horror of the Holocaust, the systematic annihilation of 6 million Jews, which, by the way, is a race. To call it white-on-white crime? That's the equivalent of saying all lives matter to a community in pain. It's devastating. It's dangerous." And the backlash didn't stop there. Piers Morgan, never one to hold back, slammed the double standard in play, comparing Whoopi's treatment to that of former The Talk host Sharon Osbourne. "Sharon was fired for defending me against a fake accusation of racism." Meanwhile, Whoopi says the Holocaust wasn't about race, a deeply racist statement to Jewish people, and she keeps her job? Where's the consistency? Even former The View host Meghan McCain broke her silence, posting, "I've moved on from my time at The View, but anti-Semitism is something I will never stay quiet about. The threat is real. It's growing. What was said broke my heart. Whoopi, faced with mounting pressure, was suspended from The View and quickly issued a public apology. But to many, it felt hollow. Fans called out a troubling pattern. Whoopi says something inflammatory, faces backlash, apologizes, and then does it again. And they were right. Just weeks after her suspension, Whoopi reopened the wound, addressing the Holocaust once more, only to walk it back again, insisting her words had been taken out of context. But the damage was already done. And it didn't end there. Her next target? Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. During a segment on their high-profile divorce, Whoopi made offhand remarks that fans and insiders alike labeled insensitive, invasive, and flat-out cruel. Critics say it was yet another example of Whoopi using her platform not to uplift, but to provoke. Now, with a history of controversial comments stacking higher and higher, fans are asking the question loud and clear. How many chances does one person get, and when is enough truly enough?
After 12 years together, 2 years of marriage and 6 children, Angelina and Brad are breaking up.
While much of the internet mourned the heartbreak of one of Hollywood's most beloved power couples, Whoopi Goldberg chose war. As news broke of Angelina Jolie's bombshell divorce filing against Brad Pitt, fans were devastated. The end of Brangelina felt like the fall of a dynasty, raw, painful, and deeply personal for millions. But on The View, Whoopi had a different tone entirely. During the morning broadcast, she didn't just report the story, she mocked it. Using an exaggerated Valley Girl accent, Whoopi ridiculed the coverage, fake-cried for laughs, and treated the emotional split like tabloid trash, not the deeply human moment it was for fans around the world. Her tone? Sarcastic. Her delivery? Cold. And her audience? Furious. But the damage didn't stop with Whoopi. Co-host Jedediah Bila chimed in with a strangely philosophical take, implying that despite their public unity, Brad and Angelina's hearts and minds simply didn't align. Anybody can crumble, she said somberly, hinting that even the most seemingly perfect unions can fall apart. Then came Whoopi's signature sarcasm. There's not always a third person, but she filed, Goldberg quipped with a raised brow. Who knows? Her dismissive tone struck a nerve with viewers, not just for what she said, but how she said it. For a story filled with grief, tension, and broken trust, fans expected empathy. What they got was mockery. And this wouldn't be the last time Whoopi took aim at Brad Pitt. Weeks later, during another episode of The View, the topic turned to the now iconic photo of Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston at the SAG Awards, the fleeting moment that reignited hope in millions of fans' hearts. While her co-host swooned over the idea of reconciliation, Whoopi shut it down. Hard. They're actors, she scoffed. They know exactly how to play to a camera. Don't be fooled. With those words, she accused the former couple of staging their reunion for publicity, turning what fans saw as a heartwarming, spontaneous exchange into a calculated PR stunt. Once again, Whoopi had rained on the parade, and the backlash was immediate. Her critics say it's not just about her words, but a growing pattern, dismissiveness, mockery, and repeated offenses that turn heartfelt moments into punchlines. And with each broadcast, the pressure mounts. How many times can someone cross the line before they're finally held accountable?
Very familiar.
Okay, can I just bust your whole world?
No!
Actors,
No,
actors.
But this was not in front of
knowing,
a TV screen.
listen.
But Whoopi didn't stop there. As the studio buzzed with speculation and her co-hosts gushed over a potential Brad and Jen reconciliation, Whoopi doubled down, this time, with a smirk and a pointed jab that stunned even her colleagues. You know, she said, shrugging theatrically, maybe they planned the whole thing. Maybe it was all choreographed to keep the drama low and the buzz high. The comment, meant to be a joke, landed like a slap. Fans watching from home were appalled. What was, to many, a tender moment between two former lovers was being reduced, again, to a punchline. Whoopi's insinuation that Brad and Jen orchestrated their interaction to manipulate public sympathy only fueled the fire. It wasn't just sarcastic, it felt mean-spirited. The backlash was swift. Viewers took to social media, slamming the co-host for her tasteless humor and accusing her of dragging personal pain into the public eye for entertainment. Many felt that Whoopi's comments weren't just disrespectful, they were calculated, designed to stir controversy, and keep The View in the headlines. It was no longer just about Brad and Jen. It was about a pattern, a recurring tendency to poke fun at serious matters, to weaponize sarcasm, and to ignore the emotional weight of the stories she covers. And with every episode, one question keeps resurfacing. Is Whoopi Goldberg using her platform to inform, or to provoke?
Sure, they thought, oh my God, if we win, we're gonna have to like deal with something. So let's figure out what we're gonna do so we can get it done. Okay, that's how that works.
It was clear not everyone was laughing. As Whoopi's remarks circulated online, the mocking, the sarcasm, the baseless insinuations, another wave of backlash slammed into the view. And this time, it wasn't just fans voicing their outrage. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston themselves stepped into the spotlight, not to fuel the fire, but to cool the temperature and set the record straight. When asked whether the SAG Awards encounter was awkward or staged, Jennifer didn't hold back. "No, it was absolutely fun," she said firmly. "Brad and I are buddies. Like, we're friends and we speak. There's no oddness at all, except for everyone that probably watched it and wanted there to be, or assumed it to be." A subtle dig? Fans certainly thought so. Many were quick to interpret Jen's final remark as a thinly veiled response to Whoopi, the one who publicly accused the reunion of being fake. Social media lit up with posts like, "That was for you, Whoopi. Jennifer just shut down the drama in the classiest way possible." Meanwhile, Brad Pitt offered his own take, and while he stayed cool, his words carried unmistakable weight. There wasn't anything like, "Were they not allowed?" "No. Zero. No drama," he said. "What you saw was absolutely what we had hoped, just a nice engagement between two massive, incredibly talented people." The message? Clear. No scandal. No shade. Just two professionals showing kindness. And yet, the damage from Whoopi's commentary had already rippled far and wide. Critics, once again, accused her of turning fiction into fact, of using her platform not to reflect truth, but to stir controversy. This wasn't the first time she'd made deeply personal events feel like a punchline, and fans weren't about to let it slide. Especially not after her past pattern of behavior. When Whoopi faced heat over her coverage of Brad and Angelina's divorce, she was quick to issue a denial, claiming she meant no harm. But few forgot how she openly mocked the situation, fake crying on air and delivering cruel commentary like it was comedy hour. In an attempt to clean up the mess, Whoopi later posted a video to Facebook, explaining her remarks were made at the direction of the show. It was a classic case of damage control, but fans weren't buying it. "If that was scripted, why did it feel so personal?" one viewer wrote. "You weren't acting, you were enjoying it." The bigger issue, many argued, wasn't just what she said, it was how often she said things like it. Over and over again. And the apologies, the clarifications, the Facebook videos? They were starting to sound like a broken record.
To me, it's gossip until somebody says, yes, this is absolutely what's happening, which apparently has happened by this evening. But I'm not a gossip fan.
Despite the outrage and the endless headlines, Whoopi Goldberg isn't backing down, at least not publicly. In a half-hearted attempt to explain herself, Whoopi released a video where she admitted, "I'm not a gossip fan, and I don't think it's fair to announce stuff when you don't have all the information, but I had to do it anyway. So I did it the way I thought I could do it." To critics, that wasn't an apology, it was an excuse. And for fans, it was the final straw. Outrage poured across social media. One furious viewer posted, "Whoopi needs a second job to pay these millions in damages she's about to owe when these lawsuits come down." Another didn't hold back. "She gives the take she does because she's not a smart person, and yet she thinks she's above everyone else. That's a dangerous combination. And it just might cost her $40 million, to be exact." Sources close to Jason Aldean have revealed that the country star is preparing to hit Whoopi with a lawsuit over her nasty, defamatory comments about his music, specifically the scathing critique she delivered during The View. His team, according to insiders, is serious about holding her accountable. And fans? They're not siding with Whoopi this time. In fact, many believe this legal action is long overdue. In the midst of the chaos, Whoopi has remained largely silent. No interviews. No major public statements. Just an eerie stillness. But behind the scenes, a source close to the actress claimed she's not concerned, at all. "She's not even bothered," the insider said. "She doesn't feel threatened. If anything, she's confident she'll come out just fine." But with lawsuits looming, public support fading, and her reputation hanging by a thread, one question lingers in the air. How many more controversies can Whoopi survive before the curtain finally closes?